Howling Matron. What devil gave birth to such a creature I could not guess, nor would I care to meet it, for this offspring of evil is wretch enough. It boasts a dozen pincer legs, giving this beast its scurrying speed. Its carapace, sizably comparable to a horse, is plated like armor and capable of chipping our blades and keeping back our arrows. And what hellish sight its monstrous jaws are! Upon attack, the largest of the matron's armored plates retreats just enough to reveal the 6 blood-red tentacles that surround a razored beak. It will howl almost continuously, altering its pitch until it finds one that disorientates its prey. Once thoroughly dazed, those tentacles will have you. Then there's no getting away from that beak. All that in mind, you'll be wanting to tackle this monster with a spear, to give those tentacles something to do. Then push the beast back and lever it up to expose its soft underbelly. That said, I would advise bringing another ranger into the contract. If that's not possible, you're going to need more preparation time. First, hunt down a narcal. You're going to need the natural acid their mushrooms produce, as it's one of the few things capable of burning through a matron's carapace. Just try not to die extracting the acid from the narcal first. A Chronicle of Monsters, a Ranger's Bestiary, 12th edition, page 13. Keldrick the Grey, Ranger. The Iron Valley, a corridor of snow and ice that dissuaded even the bravest of men from crossing the Vengoran Mountains. To its south lay Ilion, the sprawling realm of man and his many kingdoms. To the north, the dwarf lords ruled over the land of Denaheim in their halls of cold stone. Halfway between the two, along the western edge of that wild valley, a ranger stood in the blasting winds, his green cloak swept aside. Piercing blue eyes roamed over a wall of ice through which an arched entrance had been carved. Beyond the surrounding barrier, set into the base of the mountains, dwelled a breed of man not idly met. They called themselves the Jarrat. North and south of the valley, however, they were known to both man and dwarf as barbarians. Standing in the snow, Asher adjusted the white furs anchoring his cloak and gripped Hector's reins a little tighter. He could feel the unease that ran through the horse, tempting it to bolt. "Steady," he uttered, his gaze caught by the skulls mounted on pikes inside the entrance. It wasn't the most welcoming of sights, but then again it wasn't supposed to be. Skulls on display were always a warning, and only the most foolish would proceed without a second thought. Giving this particular job that second thought, the ranger had to wonder if the coin was worth it. Barbarians weren't exactly known for making deals with outsiders, let alone honoring them. To his left, beyond the curtain of hair that blew in the wind, Asher heard the snow crunching under boots and hooves alike. It was the first time he had heard the approaching stranger, though he had caught glimpses of him during his journey through the valley. Instead of a dark figure on the horizon now, the stranger was standing a little more than 10 feet away, his destination apparently the same. Asher took a breath, wondering if violence was to occur much earlier in the day than he had anticipated. Keeping one hand on Hector's reins, the ranger turned to regard the potential foe, wondering if he was the stranger's target. It wouldn't be the first time he was someone else's quarry. A flicker of surprise flashed across Asher's face, cutting through his usual expression of stoicism. As his eyes roamed over the figure and his strange mount, the ranger's fingers slowly clasped the hilt of the broadsword on his hip. Had the figure been any man of Ilion, Asher would likely have maintained a casual demeanor, or perhaps gripped the concealed dagger at the base of his back. But the stranger who had followed him into the valley from the south was no man. "What's the matter?" came the stranger's growling voice. "You look like you've never seen a dwarf before." Asher required an extra moment to grasp the events that had led to this unusual meeting. "You don't hail from Denaheim," he remarked by way of a reply, his head nodding to Ilion behind the dwarf. "I suppose I don't," he said cryptically, before taking a long swig from a flask. The belch that escaped his lips was loud enough to inform the inhabitants of the entire valley that there were intruders in their land. It was also strong enough to carry the aroma of ale all the way to Asher's nose.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.